Well, good morning, everyone. It's Thomas Montgomery here. Today is September 22nd, 2025. We get together most weekday mornings at 8 o'clock Central, talk about strategies, tips, share techniques, and share success stories as well. We're going to go through today a new onboarding email. We're going to walk through it, make sure everyone's familiar with it and the content therein. So we have the email kind of blown up here in the background and our notes screen here. So we're 509 South Pacific. Our website is 509pacific.org. If you're looking to get involved, we have a landing page on guaranteedfunding.org. Real easy, just 4 pieces of information: first name, last name, email, phone. We have a tech support line, which is ideal to reach out to us, 903-347-8042. We record most of our trainings and they're put up on YouTube, and you'll find that on the Business Paralegal page of YouTube. As we consistently remind everyone, our 501c3 nonprofit has 3 mandates, one of which is to improve financial literacy. The second is to provide free Shelf Corps to entrepreneurs. And then the third is to leverage that knowledge and those Shelf Corps to help entrepreneurs have money to start or grow a business. With that being said, while these are our 3 mandates, we invite you and others to collaborate. There's no cost to collaborate, but you can help us educate others. You can help us give away free Shelf Corps. You can help those clients that you refer get money to start or grow a business, and you're paid very generously to do so. But today we're going to focus in on this email. So this is the updated email. It is called, and you can see, Operating Your Shelf Corp Reseller Implementation Resources. So there are 2 types of people that could receive this email. The first of which is if they come to 509 Pacific and fill out the inquiry form and say, hey, I'd like to collaborate. I'd like to be a reseller. So there's no cost to do that, and that just simply means we're going to work together to do these 3 things, and you have no cost. You make a shitload of money from that. So in other words, those that explicitly want to be a distribution partner, once they have let us know that, this is the email they receive. So we'll go through that. The second audience, which may be easier for you to overlook, would be our clients. Our clients who have received a Shelf Corp, and we want to encourage them. We don't require them, but we want to encourage them to actually operate that Shelf Corp that they have. It's set up as a management consulting business, and it's designed to make money. So those are the 2 audiences, the who, that would receive this. Let's go ahead and go through the what. And of course, I sent this to myself, so it would be personalized to the recipient's name. So I'm going to read it, not just for the sake of reading it, but we'll embellish where necessary. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, type it into the Q&A and we'll dig deeper or resolve any questions or concerns. Now that you have your Shelf Corp, it's time to start operating it like a business to generate cash flow and increase the fundability of your business. So let's break that down. Are there some lenders that will fund a pre-revenue business? Yes. But do lenders prefer businesses that have some sign of life, that are open, that are operating? Of course. So we want to encourage, especially the clients, to actually operate their management consulting business because it does increase their fundability. Now, for that first group we talked about, if it's someone coming to us to be a reseller, then of course they want to operate because they're wanting to get paid. So it clarifies, you don't have to operate your Shelf Corp. It's not a requirement. If you go through our agreements, there's no requirement that they have to operate it. But as I mentioned, it's a mistake to think lenders don't prefer to fund operating businesses versus what they often call zombie businesses. And we see a number of clients, that's kind of their mindset. They want to have a business that's not really open, doesn't really have any clients, doesn't really have any income, but they want to borrow massive amounts of money. Well, so we have to think about positioning. Can we accomplish that? Sure. So let's say that you and I want to go build a Hilton hotel. So we're going to own the hotel. We're going to license it with Hilton so we can use their branding and follow their processes and procedures. Will our Hilton hotel make any money before we get funding and build it and start operating? Of course not. So certain businesses like restaurants and hotels and manufacturing facilities, of course, they're going to be pre-revenue until after they get the funding and then they start operation. We understand that. So we want to clarify that when we set up the Shelf Corp model, it's really designed to operate. Some people receive the business plan and they kind of dismiss it for some reason, but it's literally designed to generate 100,000 per month, 1.2 per million per year. And we have that broken down both in the business plan and the financial projections that we provide. Now you might say, well, what if a client gets the Shelf Corp, but they really don't want to do this? This isn't what they want to do. They want to be an auto mechanic. They want to open a bakery. They want to acquire some other business. Well, that's fine. So we can change the business plan and the financial forecast to whatever the client wants to do. But since this kind of comes, the Shelf Corp comes as a business in a box, we have to have some baseline set of services and projections. But of course, we can change it to match what the client wants to do if they don't want to be a management consultant. Throughout this email, you're going to find several training links, and it's about 5 hours of training. So let me speak for a moment to those of you that are resellers, not just general clients. If you're a reseller and you think that you don't need to put any time in to learn your new craft, quote unquote, to develop the skills and familiarity, but you want to go make 100,000 or more a month, 1.2 million or more per year, that's probably inconsistent, right? We are going to need to put a little bit of time into understanding what we do. Now, if there's no cost, we're not trying to sell you something, but I think it's unrealistic. I think most of you would agree. Yeah, I'm going to go start earning an extra 100,000 a month right away, but I'm not going to spend any time or effort to learn how it works. Unrealistic, right? So we just want to go ahead and just, state quickly, especially those of you that come to 509 Pacific, say, oh, I want to be a reseller. We just want to address very directly but friendly. If you're not willing to invest at least 5 hours, not talking about money, but invest at least 5 hours to start earning 100,000 a month, you may not be a good fit for the role. Now, we do have an affiliate program now, which we launched, and that training is up on our website, on the YouTube, I should say. And you can be an affiliate and not have to spend any time training. You don't have to spend any time learning. All you do is refer people to the landing page that we provide. So it's important to understand affiliates don't need to really know anything. They just refer in and get paid. Resellers, it's more of a white label, private label approach. They're more involved. So we have an initial training that we ask everyone to start with. So this is training number one, because we said, it's going to take a little time to get up to speed. The first training is introduced here. So it further states, with the grant we've received, your clients can receive a free Express Shelf Corporation. They're going to pay just a one-time processing fee. Now, you as the reseller determine what that processing fee is. Anything that you mark it up above $4.99 is your profit. So there's two primary revenue streams for our resellers. The first of which is paid upfront today, not in some point in the future. Today, you're paid today, whatever the markup is of the processing fee for the Shelf Corp. Anything above $4.99.99, anything above essentially $500 is yours. Now, it's up to you on pricing. Some of you are not marking it up. Some of you are selling it at $1,000, some at $2,500. We have a handful that are selling it at $5,000 or even more. That's up to you. You control pricing. You can't tell me it costs too much or too little. You control pricing as the reseller. So that's the front end. And then the back end is you can make 5% of each client's capital raise. I get a fair amount of pushback on this, and probably some of you, like Darius Johnson's on here. Some of you say, "Well, 5%, that's not fair." But most of the clients now are going after $1 million or more capital raise. We've kind of vetted out of going after the little dinky raises that just aren't hardly worth anyone's time. So the average capital raise that we deal with now is 1 million plus. Well, 5% of 1 million is 50,000 to you. We could be doing that on a regular basis. So to me, that's not a bad side income, especially when you realize you have no investment, right? You have no cost to be a reseller. Do any of you feel like 5% is inadequate? If you can go ahead and type into the Q&A, I'll give you just a moment. I'm curious, do you think 5% of $1 million per referral is fair compensation on the back end for you, or inadequate? Now, notice I don't have to ask you if you feel like it's inadequate on the front end, because you control the front end. The back end, the client pays 10%, and we pay out 5% to the reseller that brings the client. We're not MLM or network marketing, but then we pay another 5% as an override to whoever brought them. Okay, and it seems like most of you feel like that 5% is fair. 50,000, alone 50,000 doesn't go very far, but if you're doing this on a regular basis, our average reseller does a deal a day, about 20 a month, excluding weekends and holidays. So my goodness, if you take 20 times a month at generating 50,000, I mean that's a pretty decent side income. All right, so we forewarned you there's some on-demand trainings if we really want to be proficient, and now there's 6 on this list. So this is the updated reseller implementation packet. If you don't have the current one, the updated one, then I recommend just texting us on the support line and we can send you the updated one, which is what we're going through now. Just text us 903-347-8042 and ask for the updated implementation kit. All right, so let's get back. So I'm not going to bore you with going through the 6 training videos. What has happened is some folks will go to our YouTube channel and bring that back up, and there's lots and lots of videos, and some of them aren't really relevant anymore. They're outdated because we've been doing this for years and years. So we wanted to have a good, concise set of trainings, not too much, not too little, that would get someone up to speed, and it really came down to these 6. Each one's about 30 minutes in duration. I know, so you're looking at around 3 hours here, and then we already spent a half an hour up here. So we're at about 3.5 of the projected 5 hours. Is it worth it? I don't know. Is it worth it? If you could earn an extra 100,000 a month with no investment by helping other people, would you be willing to spend about 5 hours to get knowledgeable, to get set up properly? That's your decision. All right, so then after the 6 trainings, we continue to state, now let's turn on the daily deposits by helping improve financial literacy of entrepreneurs and increasing their access to capital by providing them a shelf corporation. This email is designed to provide you what you need to make money helping others. So again, you don't have to pay to get this email. You don't have to really commit to anything. If you just simply go to either the landing page and or our website and let us know, we're more than happy to get you this information. Okay, so moving on. Now let's turn on the, oh, we already said that, simple education-based process. So I would argue what we do is not selling, but at the same time, it does require an acumen to be able to understand the sales process. So it is education-based though, and we call it the 3 E's, not to be confused with the 3 C's that we talk about for underwriting, the 3 E's. In general, the first thing that we want to do is educate prospects. And some of you are really, really good at this. You're going out and educating groups of people. Let's take a few of you that I believe are out actively educating. Gene is out educating. Jeff, we have 646 of you. Mr. Certain is awesome at educating. So educating is not selling, it's just providing knowledge, providing resources to people. And by doing that, you become relevant and known. You might say, well, what am I going to go educate on? We believe using the 27 mistake curriculum is one of the best modules that you could use. And we provide a hyperlink to that on this onboarding email. Now, we also recommend that you watch this, but be prepared. This is about an hour long. So this is great if you're going to do Zooms, live Zooms, recorded Zooms, go to chambers, go to business organizations, go to churches. It's a great educational message. It helps create the awareness of the relevance of Shelf Corps, but it's not selling them. It's teaching. And frankly, we're now asking all of our clients and reminding them to watch this same training, because what happens, and this is a challenge for us, probably one of the biggest challenges, is that you and I know a lot. You know a lot. I probably know a little less than you, but together we know a lot about business finance. Well, what happens is not everybody knows what you and I know. And so then all of a sudden we have to start making some assumptions of what do they already know versus do we have to tell them everything? Take a big deep breath where you won't continue to live. No, we assume they know that. But when it comes to business finance, some people just don't have the same foundation of knowledge you and I have. This curriculum was designed to get everybody up to the same page. An example is when we have a client come back and say, well, no one told me that. No one told me that. I think of an analogy, and it's like when you buy a car, have you ever thought about, has the car salesman or saleswoman ever told you you're going to have to put gas in it? I mean, we might put a full tank in it before you leave, but you'll need to keep putting gas in it or it won't run. Well, no, they don't say that because they assume you know that. But that's not a perfect analogy, but we have some clients that they don't know what you think they should know. And because of that, then they get kind of irritable or disappointed. So I would heavily recommend educating using the 27 mistakes. And frankly, even if you don't, we're going to pick them up if they enroll and educate them on it once they've enrolled. The second of the three E's is to evaluate, and there's a comparison sheet that is provided to you. I'll show you down at the bottom of the page, and we've had other trainings on it. That is, I think, a really good tool to be able to help people objectively compare what you and I do to help people versus other options. And then ultimately, they need to enroll, because if they don't enroll, you're not going to make any money. And it's such a polarized world we live in. If you read the weekend Wall Street Journal, there was another article about how society is dividing into the haves and have-nots. And that's a bit of a generalization, but those that are doing great in today's economy, and then those that are really struggling. Well, that same concept seems to apply to our distribution partners. We got some of you now, pretty much all of you will tell me how great you are. Almost all of you have really, really high self-confidence, which is wonderful. But in terms of results, some of you are doing outstanding, six-figure monthly earners, and then others don't seem to make 6 cents a month. So uh, closing deals is important, and it doesn't matter what business you're in. You could be a doctor, a dentist, an accountant, a lawyer, an auto mechanic, whatever industry you're in. If you can't close deals or have someone within your organization that can close deals, you're going to go out of business. So education is wonderful to create a sales funnel. Evaluation helps tie that knowledge to their specific circumstance. And I'm telling you, if you're doing these two correctly, you should be able to enroll 80 to 90% of the people that you talk to. This note is just letting you know that prior to June 1st, the Shelf Corp was set up differently, and June 1st and after, it's as it is now. So if you see something that says, oh, I have to go pay 10,000 or the client has to pay 10,000 to get a Shelf Corp, that was true prior to June 1st, but not anymore. So it's just having a disclaimer. If you see something about that in one of the trainings, you can disregard it. So what does it cost to get a Shelf Corp? You determine it. Anything above $4.99 is your portion. It used to be they had to pay 10,000, and we had thousands of clients enroll when it was 10,000 a pop. So if you're having trouble selling it at $4.99 or a little bit above, we need to probably work on your sales skills, because we've had people selling massive volume at 10,000. All right, so then where the rubber hits the road are some editable documents. We provide 3 specific editable documents, and you're going to see them right here. They're linked in. So the purchase agreement is actually what you'll take, and you'll remove all of our information. And I've had people just drive me batty. The instructions are simple. Remove all of our information and replace it with yours. And secondly, change the pricing however you want. And so then normally you'd save it as a PDF and then get clients to e-sign it through Adobe or DocuSign, whatever you want. Or we can take care of all that for you with the RMP, which we'll come back to in a moment. The second attachment is the comparison sheet that ties into what we were just talking about here. And then the third is the flyer, which is editable, but it's editable in Adobe because it was developed in Adobe. So when we put together a contract packet for those of you that want us to do it for you using the RMP, and I know I've not explained that fully, but we use all 3 of these in the contract packet. We use the flyer on top, the comparison sheet secondly, and then the agreement third. So that is my recommendation. All right, so let's go back to the RMP. The reseller marketing package is optional. Optional. You don't have to do it. And it's kind of free. But what I mean by that is there is a cost for us to set all of this up. However, through the grant, we will reimburse that cost, which is just shy of $1,000, $999.99. We'll reimburse that once you've ran just one client through. So you still get paid for that client, but we can't continue to give free services, free resources out when some of you do nothing, and it's a waste of our time. So if you wanted to get the reseller marketing package or just consider it, you would click here and that would bring up a hyperlink for the RMP package. What does it include? We develop a landing page, which we've had other trainings on. You've seen how they look. We've talked about the drip marketing. Drip marketing is huge. So even if you don't want to use RMP, I strongly encourage you to set up a drip marketing process, because a lot of people are going to need multiple touches before they sign up. We set up your e-contract signature for you, so you don't have to take these editable documents and edit them. We do all that for you. You're able to get the 5% on the back end as well as the 5% override. Resources, and then we'll wrap it up. Madison, so this is a phone number, 903-352-3390. This number is answered live during the day. If she and the staff are busy, it'll go to voicemail. If you don't leave a voicemail, they won't call back. If you do leave a voicemail, you will get called back. We try to answer the calls live, but get lots of calls. The tech support line, which we talked about before. Our daily Zoom trainings, which you're on right now, but it has a link to register as well as the link for past trainings. So let's step back and kind of reflect and before we close. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. We're very much focused on our 3 mandates, and we would love to collaborate with you. To collaborate doesn't cost you anything. You can become a reseller, you can help people, and you can earn a lot of money. Frankly, more money than probably most people make in our society by doing the right thing and helping people. With that, this email is designed to be read, to be assimilated, and to be followed. Where people struggle is they'll say, oh, yeah, I want to be a reseller. We send this to them. They skim through it. They're like, I don't know what to do. Well, that's not a good attribute of someone. If you're trying to develop a new skill set, a new role that you can literally earn six figures a month, as many of you on this live Zoom right now do, it's going to require a little bit of prep time. And we approximate that to be about 5 hours. So we got 30 minutes on this training, 30 minutes times six. So we're at 3.5 hours. This is about a full hour. So now we're at 4.5, and then figure 30 minutes to take the editable documents, unless you want us to do it. And then we'll just say 30 minutes to sign up for the RMP. So in 5 hours, I would expect that you'll be open and ready to operate. If you need assistance, you have questions, let us know. But I did want to let you know about the updated packet. If you need this updated packet and these resources, just text us and we're more than happy to send it to you. 903-347-8042. Have a great day, and we'll see you back tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Thanks. Bye-bye.